I'm Kevin Shaw, and you're watching the Watercraft Journal. Today we're going to show you the 3 must-have performance upgrades from Riva Racing that will unlock the hidden potential within your supercharged Sea-Doo RX-PX 300, and all without any permanent modifications, drilling, or cutting. Yep, everything here is 100% reversible and can be done in less than an hour. It was close to a year ago when the Watercraft Journal first was introduced to the 2021 Sea-Doo RX-PX 300. At the time, the model we got our hands on was what was called an RS or International Tune. Now, it's a little bit of a misnomer, a little bit of an urban legend that the international tuned Sea-Doos are not restricted. That's simply not the case. In fact, they are restricted at the same RPM at 8,000 RPM, but they do reach a certain speed threshold. That is when the GPS speedometer will register a speed of around 72 to 72.5 miles per hour. At that time, it'll actually begin to back off the throttle and ease the throttle down, slowing the watercraft. This is a safety measure that Sea-Doo puts in place so that the less acquainted Sea-Doo owner doesn't necessarily get out of control or let the ski get too far out of hand. Because let's face it, this is a lot of machine. To truly unlock the potential inside of Sea-Doo's 1630cc 300 horsepower 300 ace engine, you got to get your hands on a speed control override module. The speed control override module doesn't retune the ECU whatsoever. In fact, it only plugs into the diagnostic port already in the factory wiring harness. All it does is trick the ECU into thinking that it no longer needs to back off the throttle when it reaches 8,000 RPM. Again, the speed control override module, or SCOM, doesn't get into the factory ECU whatsoever. It doesn't touch the tune. That means that you're not going to be getting really high RPM numbers into the 8,000s. That keeps the engine nice and safe and keeps it within the factory parameters. It just lets you go a little bit faster. In many cases, we're seeing people with SCOMs go well into the 70s, 74, 75, 76, even with a lighter rider and just a few gallons of gas, we're seeing people get into 77 miles per hour on stock units. A few years ago, we at the Watercraft Journal installed a Riva Racing SCOM unit on our 2018 Sea-Doo RX-TX 300 and reached 75 miles per hour with no problem. While the RX-TX ST3 platform does appear to be a little bit more slippery when it comes to high speed, we definitely want to unlock our RX-PX for the season. Today we're going to install 3 must-have items from Riva Racing that we feel that all 300 horsepower Sea-Doos gotta have. As mentioned, we're going to start with the speed control override module. It goes on in a matter of minutes. Second, we're going to install the engine breather oil separator kit to help give a little bit more engine longevity to our 300 ace. And then the coup de grace, we're going to really ramp up the RX-PX's handling prowess with a set of Riva Racing's Pro Series adjustable sponsons. As noted, the speed control override module does not connect to your Sea-Doo's ECU whatsoever. It literally interrupts the signal between the GPS speedometer and the ECU, keeping the computer from backing off of the throttle once it hits its preset maximum speed. Riva Racing includes a pair of brackets, one for the RX-PX and the other for the RX-TX and GTX. The bracket installs easily, and we've covered how to install it in a previous video. Here we're opting to secure the SCOM with a pair of heavy-duty zip ties. It won't bounce or jostle too much, and it can be quickly removed whenever we want. As we detailed in a previous video, Riva's oil catch can retrieves and separates the oily vapor that's pressurizing inside of your Sea-Doo's crankcase while under throttle. Normally, this oily vapor would be siphoned out and sucked in through the throttle body, through your intercooler, and past your supercharger, coating everything in an oily film. In small doses, this won't hurt your engine, and in some instances when riding in salty air, the oily coating can sometimes help protect these sensitive parts. But if left unchecked, the film can collect over time and can heavily hinder your intercooler's ability to chill an intake charge, and worse yet, cause carbon buildup in your cylinders, clogging combustion. The catch can is definitely a must-have for those looking to rack up some serious hours on their supercharged Sea-Doo, and installs in minutes without any permanent cutting or drilling. While certainly the Sea-Doo RX-PX looks great on the water, looks racy even just sitting here, the real appeal of this machine is its corner cutting prowess. This ski is designed to be like a sport bike. It's really designed to go around buoys. Now most people are never going to see a closed course, and we understand that. But understanding the design and all the effort that went into the T3R hull, we want to get all of that potential out of there by using Riva's Pro Series sponsons. The factory sponsons on the current RX-PX 300 are a single piece of molded plastic. Gone are the adjustable X sponsons from previous years. These are also identical to the sponsons found on the 2018 and newer RX-TX 300. The blades are somewhat deeper than the standard sponsons, but are rather blunt, kicking up a wide roost and offering only the slightest bit of improved traction due to their increased drag. Here's the best way we can demonstrate the night and day difference between the Riva Pro Series sponsons and the factory sponsons. The depth and angle, or what you might call the negative camber, of the blade is considerable, allowing the sponson to cut far deeper and at a vertical angle when the RX-PX rolls into a tight corner. While Riva Racing's Pro Series sponsons are a little bit more expensive than the other guys, you have to understand there's a lot of engineering that goes into designing these to make them work at their optimum level. Many sponsons just think they need to produce drag, to have a long blade that cuts in the water and allows them to turn with a little bit more grip. While that's certainly one of the missions of a good sponson, the Riva Racing Pro Series sponsons go even further. They optimize the deepest point of the blade and the pitch angle so that the hull design in rolling into a curve is able to put that blade at the right angle and at the right depth and at the right point in the hull to get it the most bite and give you the most traction. These sponsons are made without a doubt with some of the best materials available to the public. We're talking aircraft grade billet aluminum and high density plastics. They're lightweight, they're strong, and they're gonna make your ski handle like it's on rails. are aggressive. Oh, it bit. Ah. Well, I discovered that the blades set at the blades set in the 4th position on the RX-PX are demonstrably more aggressive than the RX-TX. The RX-TX needs a lot more help, and that comes in the way of more of a deeper blade. The RX-PX does not need that much of a blade to really hook. So I'm gonna set them back to 3 instead of 4. All right, we're gonna do it again. Launch control. I think we can get a 76. I really do. Here we go. Okay, so what did we learn? The RX-PX is really responsive to a couple things. First and foremost, you gotta get that trim all the way up. Get it off the nose, get it riding on the tail. Number 2, get the weight out of it. What we got was 75 today. We're gonna average out the phone GPS and the GPS speedometer. We repeated it upstream, downstream. It's 82 degrees outside, and the humidity's climbing up pretty quick. The more we go, the more heat soak the engine's gonna get, and the air is just gonna get worse. We can still goof off and have a good time, but the reality is we got a 75 mile an hour RX-PX with some very basic parts. A Riva SCOM, a speed control override module, an oil catch can, and a pair of Pro Series sponsons from Riva set at the number 3 position. We're at 2 bars of fuel. The alarm just went off, so we know we're not really heavy with weight. We're gonna ride around a little bit more. I doubt we're gonna see a higher speed, but we're really happy with that. 75 miles an hour with bolt-on parts, and everything is reversible. You can't beat that, guys. You really can't beat that. I'm Kevin Shaw, and you've been watching the Watercraft Journal. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, leave a comment, and share it with your friends. We definitely want to help grow the channel. And if you want more jet ski content like this, definitely subscribe to the channel, because we publish 6 videos a week, entirely free to you, as well as go over to watercraftjournal.com. Once again, that is www.watercraftjournal.com, where new articles are published every day, Monday through Friday, entirely subscription free to you.